Judge laughs at crying black girl in court but has no idea who's about to walk in. She's just putting on a show. The judge scoffed as Amaya wiped silent tears from her cheek. The courtroom laughed. No one cared why she was crying or if. She was innocent. Just another black girl in a stolen dress, they thought. But then the doors slammed open. A man stepped in, towering, decorated, and deadly silent. He wasn't a lawyer. He wasn't a witness. He was her father. And he'd returned from war not just to defend her, but to destroy the lie. This is the ghost of justice, and it's time the courtroom got haunted. Welcome, story lovers. Hit that like button and drop your city name in the comments. We want to. See how far this story travels? Amaya was 17, quiet, thoughtful, and on her way to college on a full scholarship. Her days were filled with library shifts, tutoring younger kids, and writing justice essays. She lived with her grandmother while her father served overseas. 5 deployments, a war hero, the only parent she had left. Life was hard but stable. Until one morning, she was pulled out of class and handcuffed. The charge, stealing expensive jewelry from a local store. There were no fingerprints, no footage. Just the word of a clerk and a blurry photo. Still, they booked her, called her another hood girl gone wild. And when court day came, no one looked at her as if she could be innocent. The judge. He smirked as she walked in, her hands shaking, wearing her church dress like armor. But Amaya wasn't alone, though she didn't know it yet. From the very first moment, the trial felt more like a performance than a pursuit of truth. The judge interrupted her public defender. The prosecutor smirked through Amaya's tearful testimony. When her grandmother tried to speak, she was silenced. And the only evidence, a grainy store camera image, looked nothing like her. Still, the words guilty-looking echoed through the court. Then came the whispered joke. Maybe she thought it was reparations. Laughter, even from the bailiff. Amaya stared at the floor. Her father hadn't returned her calls in weeks. She assumed he was still deployed, unreachable. But what she didn't know was that he'd seen the news overseas. That night, he caught the first flight home. And while the judge leaned back in his chair, preparing to hand down a sentence, the courtroom doors creaked. Heavy boots echoed down the aisle. Heads turned, phones came out. Standing there was a tall black man in full military dress. A chest full of medals, an arm in a sling, and in his hand, classified documents and signed witness statements. Because this wasn't just about Amaya, it was about a cover-up. And her father was about to rip it wide open. The judge froze as the man strode. To the front. I'm Amaya's father, he said, voice low but commanding. And I have proof this charge is a lie. Gasps. Cameras clicked. In his hand, an affidavit from a soldier who saw the store clerk boasting about framing some poor black kid. Tatch. Military records showing the clerk's brother had once served and had a grudge against Amaya's father. Even more damning. Security footage the police never submitted, showing another girl entirely committing the theft. The courtroom was no longer silent. It was stunned. The judge, once smug, was now speechless. Justice didn't just walk in that day, it stormed in uniform. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It helps. The charges were dropped. The real thief was arrested 2 weeks later. But for Amaya, the damage lingered. The shame. Fear. The knowledge that a room full of adults had been ready to throw away her future because of her skin. Her father held her outside the courthouse, whispering, "They tried to break you, but you didn't bend." Their story went viral. Law schools studied the case, and a petition was started to remove the judge. But more profound than any headline was this truth. Justice only showed up because someone powerful cared. But what about the kids whose parents never get that chance? Amaya now gives speeches at schools reminding Black youth they are not the sum of anyone's bias. Because justice doesn't come on its own, Sometimes you have to carry it in. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos. Take care.